Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Back on Track.
Hello.
Episode 5 now.
We made it.
I think we're gonna keep making it until we.
This is a milestone episode, number 5.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a multiple of 5.
Yeah, we'll wait until we get into double digits, Jamie. We can have a whole party.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
How you doing, Jamie?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby.
Nice.
Been a long day for me. It is only 3:40 in the afternoon, but I have been up nearly 12 hours now.
Wow. What time did you start?
I started at 5:01 this morning, so I've been up since 4:01.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Keeping the world running.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do it.
Nice one. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's pretty nice. The weather's been taking a bit of a turn for the worse up here, but it's slowly but surely getting a little bit better. We're supposed to be having an Indian summer next week. So my producer tells me, yeah, that's what's been forecast.
What's that mean? What's an
I
Indian
don't
summer?
I don't really know what it means. I mean, every summer with me is an Indian summer.
Yeah. Well,
so
I've just landed from Portugal. I went away.
How was that?
It was very nice. Yeah, I went to Lisbon for the week with family, which was really good fun. But yeah, we had I was in Lisbon and then we went to Cascais. I'm saying that wrong, but
you what now?
Cascais? C-A
Capsize. Is that what happened to the boat when you arrived there?
Yeah, well, yeah, we the Sunday we got there, we went to watch Portugal versus Scotland, which is it was a tough fixture for me because
for you especially, yeah, exactly.
Well, I've got one of the most Scottish names out there, Hamish.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, we had we went to the game at the Benfica Stadium, which was amazing. We bought the tickets the night before, but €50, which is incredibly cheap for a international game. I mean, it was all the stars. You know, you got your Ronaldos, you've got your Bruno Fernandes, you've got João Felix, but most importantly, you've got Scott McTominay, who the whole week I'd been telling Sabrina, you know, watch out because he's dangerous for Scotland.
Yeah.
And he scored in the first 5 minutes. So
I mean, a man called Scott from Scotland who's a Scot. I mean, that is just that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. Well, he it was actually a very good game, and it was a difficult one for me because I was like, I don't know who to support because
Who did you support in the end?
I was neutral, but I think deep down because the whole time. So I ended up the night before I was restless in bed, going, shirt do I
tossing
wear?
And turning.
Yeah, and I went, I can't wear my Portugal shirt, but it's new and this is the only time I'm able to wear it. You know,
you have to cut it in half and sew them together.
Get in half and half. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Well, I eventually did wear my Portugal shirt. And then as soon as we exited the house, I went, I've made a grave mistake. I'm letting down my people. But no, we had, we met some a Scot on the train as well. And
was it the footballer Scott?
No, a Scotsman. Yeah.
A Scot. Yeah. Right. His name wasn't Scott.
No, not like Scott McTominay. I wish I'd met Scott McTominay, but
that would be good. Yeah, so good they named a country after him. Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, we had anyways, no, the game was really good. I got to see Ronaldo score his 901st goal. So that was cool.
Wow.
And
now that's what you call a real milestone. Not 5.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's maybe when we get there we can bring it up. I don't know how many weeks with 901
somebody will be able to do the math for that one.
Yeah. Where's our producer? How quick can he be on the
quickly math? Going like that with the calculator.
And the answer is we'll get back to you on
We'll
that
get
one.
back on board. Yeah. So, whilst you're in Portugal, did you do any sort of interesting cultural things? You listen to any traditional Portuguese music or anything like that?
I did. I listened to the wonderful genre. 128 weeks.
Wow.
There we go. Well done.
What's that in years? There you go. That's about 2.5 years or something like that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, anyways, yeah, no, I went and saw some lovely fado music, the traditional Portuguese sound.
Nice.
And believe it or not, that is our fado is the alternative genre this week. I thought it'd be fitting, having gone in and seen what it means for the country.
You saw it in the flesh.
I saw it in the flesh. Yeah, we saw it at a nice restaurant. It was a couple vocalists. The male vocalist was incredible. Had some. They're very big on octopus there, so I had some octopus and sardines whilst listening to fado. So I really, took in the culture.
Really, good.
Yeah. But I mean, Jamie, how did you find fado? Because I guess I'm Portuguese. Yeah, I know all about it now.
I did like it. I like fado, and I tell you what, it's certainly not a fad. Oh, sorry. I just came up with that on the spot, and I regret using it already.
Wow, well done.
I liked it. I really liked the sort of the vocal side of it. The singing is got a lot of sort of traditional technique. And yeah, it was quite good, and a lot of the recordings that I could find were from quite sort of intimate performances. I liked it. But you can tell us a bit more about it because it's Portuguese expert.
Yeah, sure. Well, context for the listeners out there. Fado is a traditional Portuguese music genre known for its melancholic and emotional style, often expressing themes of longing, fate, loss, and nostalgia, commonly referred to as saúde. Originally in Lisbon in the early 19th century, fado typically features vocalists accompanied by classical and Portuguese guitars. The songs are deep lyrically, reflecting the hardship and sentiments of everyday life. Fado performances are highly expressive, with singers conveying their deep emotion through their voice. Amelia Rodriguez, often called the Queen of Fado, is one of genre's most iconic figures. I'd almost say, though, because this description here it mentions a lot of the melancholy, which is true, but there's also a lot of I don't know. How do you say the word for a community?
It's I know what you mean. It's communal.
Yeah, that's
maybe?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because there was a few songs, especially when I heard live, which talk about the beauty of Portugal and the beauty of Lisbon, and they often involve the whole crowd singing along. So I think whilst there is a lot of melancholy in the genre, there's also a lot of uplifting songs,
Yeah.
I mean, was there any standouts for you? I've got some standouts here, which I can.
Well, you mentioned Amelia sorry, is it Amelia or Amalia or
Amalia? I think maybe Amalia.
Yeah, something like that. Rodriguez. And that's, I think she's sort of the big name in fado music.
Yeah,
which, by the way,
Queen of Fado.
The Queen of Fado. When I was doing my research, fado comes from the word meaning destiny or fate. That's what I came across, thanks to Wikipedia. So there you go. So it's about fate, which is, it can be that melancholy, or it can be that sort of hopeful. But yeah, Amalia Rodriguez, big name. I quite liked the song Saudade. Now I know I'm going to get told off by
Yeah.
That.
Well, that wasn't that actually also in our palm wine music, which I think we maybe thought it was palm. Yeah,
palm wine is obviously comes from a Portuguese influence.
Yeah.
And so this is sort of maybe there's a tie-in with that traditional song there. Because obviously they use Portuguese instruments in traditional palm wine music. So yeah, in fado, you get a lot of that nice Portuguese sound.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because I think you hear some songs, especially that Sudar song, and you can hear how that's also maybe influenced South American.
Like Brazilian, perhaps.
Yeah, bossa nova.
That,
yeah. I think especially some of the like sadder ballads in bossa nova, you can hear that fado influence, both in the themes and the instrumentation. So it's really, I mean, the sort of Portuguese colonization is, whilst it's also had its geographical influence, it's also had its cultural and musical influence. Some of the standout songs for me, as you mentioned, Amelia Rodriguez, Uma Casa Portuguesa.
That's it. That's this one that I came across as well, and it very much fits the style, that sort of traditional style of fado, and it's quite what's the word? Archetypal of that genre, and I quite liked it. I like how a lot of these songs, especially Amalio, whatever her name is, Miss Rodriguez. Her style of singing is really good. She's a very talented singer, and a lot of it's got that sort of longing feel to her voice, and a lot of the singers have that feel. It's almost like it's very sort of almost ballady, very intimate, and it's, I don't know, it feels like the singer's really telling you a story, and sort of really speaking to the listener. I liked Uma Casa Portuguesa, Saudade. Another one that I really liked was called Canção do Mar. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Who's that
by? That's also it's a traditional song. Amelia Rodriguez does a version of it, but I found lots of versions of this song. Some of them were a bit more sort of upbeat. It's still in the fado style, but with a bit more of a modern take. So they had a bit of electronics and stuff like that in there.
Right, okay.
But Amelia Rodriguez, whatever her name is, Rodriguez does a good Canção do Mar, which I believe translates to Song of the Sea.
Okay, nice. I mean, they're very big with the oceanic influence with all the sardines and such, and being, a coastal country. I mean, I got Cristina Branco, Agua y Mel.
That's water and sea. Was that what that means?
The first word's water. So,
Agua's water, yeah.
And then also Esta Voz by Ricardo Ribeiro. There's not as many male singers in fado. I noticed. There's a lot of female singers, so it's nice when you hear the sort of the deeper timbre with some of these guitars. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to point out, because in Portuguese, so you've obviously got the Portuguese guitar, and we'll get a little picture up of that there. So as you can see, I think it's 12 strings, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like with a 12-string guitar. It's each, like, 2 strings are play the same note, but they might be tuned slightly differently or have different sort of timbres to them. But you have 2 strings playing the same note. Which gives it that sort of traditional style. It also allows you to do a technique called tremolo or tremolando, which is when you sort of go, I don't really know how to. And you get that a lot in sort of Mediterranean music, a lot in sort of Greek, Spanish, Portuguese music, all of that sort of style. Yeah, that tremolo sound, and it sounds really good on the Portuguese guitar. I really like the instrumentation. It's it's a small setting. It's not like massive loads of instruments. It's from what I found is a couple of guitars, a vocalist, maybe a bassist on an upright bass or something like that, and a drum.
A lot of it is very organic. I mean, I was Sabrina was saying though, because she wasn't sure what a guitar was called in Portuguese, because what we call a Portuguese guitar, they just call a guitar.
Call it a guitar, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so
I think the guitar is originally a Spanish instrument, comes from guitarra.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm pronouncing that right, and so that's obviously a Spanish thing.
Yeah.
Which is
well, I've got it here
Spain
actually,
and
because
Portugal are practically the same thing. Aren't they?
yeah, guitarra, but then also a regular guitar is called a viola.
Oh,
So
right.
I need to hold on, bear with me. I'm going to find out, because what's a viola called in Portugal then?
Yeah.
So a viola, if you say viola in Portuguese, it means guitar. But if you want to mean what we would call a viola, it's called a viola de arco. So viola.
Oh
of
yeah,
bow.
de arco. Arco means bow. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the difference. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a great genre for especially in a like I said a group setting.
Yeah.
Bringing people together. I mean, is this something that you're going to be listening to in the future?
I would like to listen to it live. I think I wouldn't probably sit down and listen to it, or on Spotify or something, but definitely something that I'd like to do live. And also I'd quite like to give it a go at performing a bit of live fado. I mean, my Portuguese isn't great, but I do like that sort of. I mean, I've always been a fan of that sort of really intimate sort of Latin American influence, Spanish, Portuguese, all of that style of music, with when you've got guitars strumming along and vocalists doing all of that. It's similar to flamenco in that setting, where it's quite intimate. And I'm a big fan of flamenco music, and fado is just as good. So yeah. I'd like to go. Maybe next time you're in Portugal, I'll tag along.
Yeah. Well, this was
and
I mean, one thing I noticed from the guitar players is obviously they're playing jazz chords, but it's changing chord every bar. So there's almost not a just like
it's not a simple progression.
Yeah, and it's all it's all with jazz chords, which require all 5 fingers, and
beyond my technical capability.
Yeah, well, my mum, after when we went to watch it, she then went, "Oh, I want you to go and study in Portugal and start to learn some fado, maybe for 3 months." I went, "Yeah, okay, yeah." I don't know if I have the guitaring ability to,
Well, you've got to learn. You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So,
but fado is a hugely important tradition and part of Portuguese culture. It's actually been designated a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage. It's on the intangible cultural heritage list, UNESCO. So there you go. So it's just goes to show the importance of that sort of culture. And the importance it has on Portuguese culture, which is nice. I like it.
Nice. Jamie, obviously we've had a week away. I haven't been in the fire of the news as much as as one could be. But why don't you give us the latest correspondence from Manchester?
Well, coming live from Manchester to you from Manchester, we've heard about the Red Arrows, but have you heard about the Red Barrows?
No, what's the Red Barrows?
Well, they are a precision team, or a team of precision display barrow flying. So, like the Red Arrows, a team of, pilots who do sort of all of that sort of fancy stuff in the air. they pilot wheelbarrows, and they've been out in Devon this past week raising money for various causes, and they've been doing some precision barrow piloting, which is I think it's quite cool. It's basically a group of guys who they all dress up in the red boiler suits, and they've got their fancy red wheelbarrows, and they're doing precision acrobatics or aerobatics, you might call it, if it's and they jump over double-decker buses, they go through rings of fire, they do jumps and barrel rolls and all sorts, and I thought it actually looks really cool. It sounds silly, like the red barrows, a bunch of lads just...
Are they on roller skates or...?
No, they just wheel the barrow along, like they just wheel it.
So they jump, so they like run and then jump into...
You have to watch the video. They sort of do. Yeah, they're sort of pushing it, and one of the founders, one of the members, Adam Montague, said that it takes hours and hours of training to pilot a barrow effectively. So it's a real display of sort of precision barrow flying. So I really liked it. Go and watch their videos. It's on TikTok and all sorts. And they've done all sorts. They've been going around 25 years, and they crop up every so often raising money for various causes. In fact, over the past 25 years, they've raised over £115,000. So,
wow,
there we go.
Yeah, I'm just getting a video here from a picture from our producer. They're all in their nice jumpsuits.
They've got the sort of pilot goggles on and flying around. They're in their red barrows.
I like them. I like to think that they're a inspiration to the children, and they sort of walk around like rock stars in their.
I think we should.
Jumpsuits.
I think we should give that sort of thing a go. Maybe some barrow flying. It's quite a skilled, thing to do. A lot of concentration, a lot of focus required to pilot a barrow effectively. But I would like to give it a go.
I mean, it sort of makes me nervous, almost like the cheese rolling, where I think this is a way you can like just break bones in the mud.
It's intensive. Yeah, it's.
I mean, these guys aren't young doing this, so they're clear veterans of the sport.
Oh yeah. It requires years and years of experience.
Yeah, 10,000 hours, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. Master of their craft.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been looking into, and I'm a big fan. Come to Manchester, Red Barrows, if you're listening, and or even better, don't come to Manchester. Go to Barrow in Furness. I bet they'll love you there.
Yeah. Well, staying on the topic of sports, everyone can get injuries are a big component to sports, and it's a big thing that can ruin an athlete's career. But the worst injury that has come out recently is a Bolton Wanderers striker, Victor Adebo.
Do you want to have another crack at that?
I think it's just this. As soon as I get the microphone on, I'm going. Somebody out there is going to say you're saying that wrong. So I just go.
We should rename this podcast to just like an array of mispronunciations. The mispronunciation podcast is all we do. Is mispronounce things.
It's because every single name is like, from either South America or Africa or something.
We don't make it easy on ourselves, do we?
Victor Adeboyejo sustained a back and rib injury after a hefty sneeze, forcing him to withdraw from a Bristol Street Motors Trophy game against Barrow.
Oh, there we go. It's all come full circle.
Yeah. Manager Ian Everett explained that Adeboyejo, 26, had initially suffered the injury during the match against Charlton, but aggravated it with the sneeze. Adeboyejo has undergone a scan with hopes that the issue is a muscular or related to cartilage, despite being short on players due to injuries on international duty. Bolton won the game 3-2. They're currently 18th in League One. I mean, that's a really unlucky way to get sidelined is sneezing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a sneeze that powerful, Jamie?
I don't think so. Well, I have had some bad sneezes. Being one of those unfortunate people who are cursed by hay fever.
Yeah.
I get it so badly when those first few weeks of hay fever season hit. I'm literally sneezing all day. I remember one time actually earlier this year, hay fever season had just started, and I was at work and I bought, those big packets of tissues that you get, like the individual packets. You get like 12 individual packets or 6 individual packets in one bigger packet. I went through an entire one of those in a day.
But are you taking the right medication? Because I had that for years, and then I switched from the blue packets
I've done everything.
to the green packets.
I've been to the pharmacist. I've tried all the different ones that they've got. I've done the local honey. You've got to eat that local honey, and that supposedly does it all. And I've tried the nasal sprays and all of that. And some of it does work, but it's only for a few days, maybe like a week or two. Per year, and then it sort of seems to settle down a bit. But those initial first week, literally, I mean, it's just awful. My nose is dripping like a tap.
Oh God, the worst I ever had was Duke of Edinburgh, where obviously I'm out in the wild, and my hay fever was so bad that my eyes sealed shut.
I think I remember seeing a photograph of.
That was me recovering that photo. Yeah, no, my eyes sealed shut from all the eye gunk.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, I honestly, like the whole journey was impossible because I was just sniffling and I couldn't see anything, and my eyes were like golf balls.
It's torture. Hay fever, isn't it?
I know. It's such a dumb illness as well.
I know.
I'm allergic to nature. Like, what am I actually supposed to do there?
It's fucking grass. It's grass everywhere.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I know. I mean, this is I've heard some hefty sneezes in my time. I think everybody has heard their friends' parents or their friends' dad.
Yeah, it's usually the dads that get the right good old walloping.
I used to remember all the time hearing one of my friends. I was on the phone to my mate, and I'd hear their dad in the background, and you would just hear, like, whilst I was on the phone, yeah, you do.
Like that. It's always the deepest, most sort of sonorous sound you've ever heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Dramatic.
I know it was yeah, but I mean, I think he made the way back after that injury. But imagine that if he pulled his back well enough, he could have been out for
I mean,
a
sneezing
long time.
Can be dangerous.
I also like the name of the trophy, the Bristol Street Motors Trophy.
The Bristol Street Motors. Yeah. Well, all these trophies nowadays are sponsored by, like, what was it? There's some Betfred trophy.
So there's the Carabao Cup trophy.
Yeah.
Which Carabao is, I mean, that one sort of makes sense, but like, I don't know if you've ever had Carabao. It's the worst tasting drink.
Yeah, I've not had it, but I've seen I've seen
it's never in the shops anyway. I don't understand how they have the budget to
sponsor
a football cup. Yeah. And then you've got the Papa John's trophy now, which I think has had an array of different names. It used to be the Carling Cup, I believe, or maybe that was the and I think at one point it was an insurance company. So you've really got an array of sponsors. But so I mean, that's been I think he's made his recovery now, so hopefully he'll be back on the pitch. And let's just hope. Thank God it's not hay fever season anymore.
Yeah, otherwise he'd be all that grass on the football pitch.
I know.
Yeah.
James, do you have a train fact for us today? Now, I asked in a specifically if you could have something for the north, because we've spoken a lot about London Underground.
We've done a bit of London. Well, I've gone a little bit too north here. Because we're in Scotland.
Nice.
And we're in the lovely town of, I'm going to say, Bewley.
Bewley, okay.
Beauly. Or maybe it's pronounced Bewley.
Bewley.
Yeah. Give it
Yeah.
your best Scottish accent. Bewley train
Bewley.
station.
Okay.
That's I can't do Scottish accents, but yeah, it is the shortest train station platform in the UK. Take a guess. How short do you think it is? In meters. Let's go meters.
Yeah. 15 meters.
Wow, you hit the nail on the head there,
Did I?
Hamish.
Yes!
Yeah. You usually wildly overestimating it makes my thing. Yeah, 15 meters on the dot.
Wow.
There you go. 15 meters. Imagine that. I mean, that's tiny for a train station.
We'll get a picture up.
Get a picture up. To put in comparison, most trains are about like sort of 80 meters long.
Oh my god!
So it's actually too small for the train. The train that serves it is a class 158, which is a 2-carriage train, diesel train, and it's actually so short that not even one carriage fits on. Only one door fits on the platform.
Oh my god!
So they have everybody. I mean, I don't think it's the most popular station in the world, but everybody has to get off at one door, and they can only open that singular door. We actually have a method of work that we use where we only open one door at Ardwick Station in sunny Manchester. But yeah, it's 15 meters long. That's tiny, isn't it?
I mean, what's it like at rush hour though? That's going to be the worst.
Yeah, everybody piling on. Probably fit about 5 people on there. Yeah,
I mean, I'm assuming the population of Bewley is fairly low. If they,
I think it's out in the sticks somewhere.
Yeah, if they can accommodate for a 15-meter platform. Well, that's definitely out there.
So next time you go to Scotland, not far from Inverness.
Okay,
see if you can have a look.
Yeah, I'll go. I think I might purposely make a trip there because I mean Scotland's fairly small, so you can get to most places not too long.
There you go.
Nice. Well, Jamie, I mean we've really ticked off a lot of boxes today, fairly quickly. But I did want to see what's been grinding your gears because there is. Do you mind if I start? Because there is something that was particularly grinding my gears on my holiday.
Oh, okay. Go for it. This is your opportunity to go full rant mode. So
this deserves. I've got 2. I've got a short thing that grinds my gears in general, but I've got one thing that I'm like, this was ridiculous.
You just
Air Portugal. Okay, Air Portugal have digitalized their check-in systems or their luggage systems, and it was one of the worst airport experiences I've ever had because the queue went on for miles, right? So you're waiting in the queue about almost an hour, 45 minutes. When you get there, you have to use these machines. Of course, the people in front of you don't know how the machines work. There was a girl right in front of me who had put it on the scale and didn't tap the begin button. So she was just looking like, oh, okay.
Clueless.
Yeah.
Did you go up to her and say,
I did.
Press the button? Yeah.
I did. I said, excuse me, you have to press the button. And then, so you get these tags. You have to put a tag on your bag like you do with check-ins, right? But everybody obviously puts it on the handle on the top of the suitcase. Yeah. These machines, the scanners on the top of the conveyor belt, of which is so it's on the top and you have to have your bag on its side.
Oh,
so
right,
of course you've got your bag on the side. The tag is not going to be in the scanning proximity.
Yeah, it's not going to be in range for the scanner. Yeah.
Yeah, and so every time, this is why the queue's so big, is because everybody is going, it's not scanning because it's the machine doesn't work. And I did not understand, this idea that, we have to streamline this by getting rid of customer support. You've got two people out of 15 machines, of which none of them work efficiently. And yeah, I mean, all it meant was just there was a massive queue because nobody knows how to work them. And then you look at the other airport companies or airline companies, no queues. Do you know why? Because they've got people at the fucking desk helping them.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why. I understand it was to maximize profits and seem like they're in the future, but it's shit. It's really shit. I just don't understand it. So yeah, that really annoyed me.
Gears,
yeah. And can you guess how much it is to check in your bag with Portugal? We got it, thankfully. We didn't have to pay for it because it came with the ticket or something, and just added it in.
Was it like a carry-on bag or like a suitcase?
No. So like a suitcase to check in. So I did have a carry-on because I carried it on the way. But can you guess how much it is to check in a bag with Air Portugal?
I'm gonna say like an extra 30 quid, maybe.
£100.
Fuck off, really?
£100 to check in the bag yourself.
That's
you don't even,
That's. I mean, how long were you there for?
In Portugal?
Yeah.
6 days. So we didn't need to check in our bags, but they automatically gave us the option.
Right.
But if you, for example,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I want to check in my bag, because
I mean, I do the typical thing of stuffing everything into all of my earthly belongings into the carry-on, hand luggage into my little rucksack, and then I'm wearing about 5 coats, 7 pants, 15 pairs of socks. I've got it all. I've got my sunglasses on, my hat on, my scarf, everything. It's all coming on the plane. So I'm not paying that, especially bloody Ryanair. Not paying extra to. Yeah.
So yeah, it was the worst experience in an airport, and it was just shit. It was really, really shit. I mean, the plane was actually all right. It was good landing and fairly comfortable, but I just didn't understand why anybody would justify paying £100 to not even pay, somebody an hourly rate. It's, a machine that doesn't work.
What's wrong with good old-fashioned human beings, They did the job.
Well, I mean, it's funny now. That seems to be a privilege to have
a job.
To have any sort of human interaction when you're trying to go somewhere. But anyways, I mean, what's grinding my gears this week?
Oh, that wasn't it. That was just the that was just the warm up.
Tell you what, tell me what's grinding your gears, and then I'll tell you my little one. Yeah. Because that needed its own separate run. I think.
Yeah.
I was sick to death with it. Yeah.
Understandably, mate. What's grinding my gears? Just like people, when you're on the train or on the bus or wherever on an airplane, some people are listening to music or videos, or TikTok is the worst one, and they're listening to it so loudly with no headphones on in public spaces, and everybody can hear their phone call and some woman screaming down the phone and shouting her whatever. And it's like, nobody wants to listen to that. Have some situational social awareness and put headphones in, or speak quietly, or go somewhere a little bit more private. The worst thing is for me when people are just scrolling mindlessly through TikToks with their volume on full blast, and they're chuckling away at it in the corner, and everyone's like, nobody wants to listen to
being
that.
antisocial.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not, it's not considerate, and that sort of annoys me. And I sometimes say, can you put your headphones in or something, or just turn it down a bit, because some people might be trying to work or sleep or whatever, and that sort of annoys me. And especially when it's like TikToks and things like that, or reels, and it's just like this what people are nowadays calling brain rot, all of that crap, where it's like just pointless videos, and it's just I don't want to listen to that. I hate it enough as it is, all that crap on social media. And anyway, so that's annoying me, but it's so loud in public. Headphones are a brilliant invention. Utilize them. God gave you headphones for a reason. So
Sure. Yeah.
Most of them.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what.
Not nice at all.
No, not nice at all. Not nice.
What's even worse is what you're about to say.
Well, mine's more just I guess, I mean, the sort of what grinds my gears is more of a pet peeve, because that, I think, I mean, what's been something I guess I just haven't understood, and it does sort of grind my gears, Because I think what we find with what grinds our gears is it's a general day-to-day thing.
Yeah,
you know?
but this is something specific that's happened.
No, well, this is no.
Oh, this is
what I said was a specific. So
yeah.
I mean, this is just a general thing. It's duty free.
Oh,
I
right,
don't
okay.
get duty free.
I'm completely with you on that. Duty free, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you don't pay import tax or whatever it is, you know, different taxes on it. It's just as expensive, if not more.
It's more expensive.
Yeah,
with this whole, you know, the only thing I guess is maybe cheaper is like cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah,
right? But everything else is ridiculously expensive with this big thing that says, "Hey, you don't have to pay tax. You don't have to pay tax." Yeah, I'm paying for you. I'm I'm paying extra.
Up the price.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. And also, why is it that every time I go to an airport, they assume duty free assumes that I just want to buy a massive Toblerone? You know, like what is it with airports and massive Toblerones?
Massive Toblerones for 15 quid. I mean, you should see the ones in America, man. The ones in like a packet of M&Ms is like $12-15. You know,
yeah.
and the what I don't get with it, and this is what grinds my gears, is how is it tax free when every single shop in the airport, every restaurant says about how they have to put on VAT automatically because because I'm going in and out. How come this one shop gets an exception, which by the way is still in the fucking country? Yeah. I don't understand. What I don't understand is this idea. Oh, it's because it's
an international soil, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's still in. If it's in Heathrow, it's still in the UK, and everything like Itsu still has to pay tax. I don't understand this idea that this shop gets an exemption. The only things that I think make sense is if it's on a boat or in the air.
Yeah, boats are actually quite good. My mate's just moved to Ireland. He might be listening to this if you are Irish, mate. You know who you are. And he said that the prices over there are ridiculous. And on the boat, for like alcohol, it's like considerably cheaper, like a lot cheaper on the ferry itself. So like if you ever want to get cheap booze, just get on a ferry. And because that is like, once you're in international waters, it's like it's a tax haven, It's
yeah.
like,
well, there's people. I mean, we went on when I was last sailing, because we had some kids with us. There was a mega yacht in front of us, and they said that we could come on and show the kids. And it was essentially like a house on a boat. It had washing machines and stuff.
Oh yeah, one of those like fancy.
Yeah, but of course it's got staff on it, and the staff make about they make triple digits in the year. Or 6 digits, sorry, like over 100 grand.
I thought you meant 3 digits, like
triple
digits.
£100 a year, yeah. And it's all tax free because
what jobs are they doing that they're making 6 figures on a boat?
Being the captain.
Oh right, the captain, not like
I think they do get pretty well paid though.
Mate, I'm in the wrong industry.
I know. Well, another thing about this is you make all of this income tax free because your address is
in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. So
it must be a nightmare when you're getting your post delivered. Just get some soggy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just don't get duty free, and I'm sure if somebody can explain it to me, please do.
It's just not any more economically efficient. It's like it's not cheap. What's the point? It's if it was cheap.
No, I'm sure probably at one point it was cheap, and then we said, and then they said let's give the illusion that it's cheap.
Yeah.
Because I'm just tired.
The only thing good about duty free is all the free. I say free, the testers, the aftershaves, and I go in there, spray about 15 different designer aftershaves on me, and then I go on the plane stinking it up, smelling like Simon Cowell just walked on or something like that.
That reminds me, have you seen the planes coming back from Turkey?
No.
There's pictures of people coming back on like the
I know what you mean.
Flights from Turkey, and everyone's got the
turkey
dotted,
there's a funny meme where the guy shows like it's the guy
his
who's got, like, the
passport.
yeah, it shows the border guy his passport, and it's a bald guy with dodgy teeth. And the border security guard looks at him. He's like, "Oh, you got lovely luscious hair and white teeth." And
He's like, "Where have you come from?"
Turkey. He says in his Scottish accent, "Turkey." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Off you go, in you go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know a few people who are going to Turkey / have been to Turkey for that exact reason. So
what, to get their teeth or their hair
the
done?
hair.
I mean, to be honest, I my hairline is atrocious, and I'm sure when it starts,
we might see you in Turkey in a few years' time.
you might see me. Yeah. But I mean, Jamie, have you got a dad joke to finish this all off? Because I think, do you know what we found is, I think it's nicer for us to finish on a dad joke than to finish on such negative attitude.
Yeah,
that grinds our
exactly.
gears, so.
Well, speaking of a bit of negativity, I got into a fight with a B&Q worker the other day.
Really?
Yeah, when I walked in, he asked if I wanted decking.
Well done, Jamie. Your jokes are getting better.
Are they actually?
You've been, yeah. You've been getting.
You wait till you hear about the brawl I got into when I went to the scrap yard.
All right. What do they?
Well, he asked me if I wanted to scrap.
I think you're taking everything out of context, Jamie. You need to.
I should have quit what I said, but thank you. My jokes are getting a little bit better. My dream of becoming a professional stand-up comedian is slowly, becoming more and more realistic.
Well, we'll keep throwing out zingers like that, and we'll see where you go. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. It's been a bit of a shorter episode this week, but I've had a very busy week, and so has Jamie. So we've had to find some time to fit this in. And if you liked hearing what we said about fado, we actually have a podcast, a playlist. Sorry, not another podcast. A playlist.
That'll be too many.
Of a playlist of all the music that we've mentioned, and we will also have, if we get it done in time, a little fado song that we've written. So
emphasis on the if we get it done in time.
If we get it done on time. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.